Okay, at this point we're starting to get into more math terms. I'm not a big fan of math terms, but that's okay. Common difference, I tell them, is the what's going on. Specifically, it's the what's going on when we're adding or subtracting to find out the next value. So looking at my numbers 15, 13, 11, 9, 7, it seems that I'm subtracting 2. So the next one would be 5, and then 3, and then 1. So the what's going on, or the common difference, is I'm taking away 2 for each step. Now, the recursive function is something that we didn't learn. If I'm talking to parents, we really didn't learn in high school or anywhere. It wasn't real common when we were kids. So here's how it works. We say f of x, which is the next term in the sequence, equals f of x minus 1. I know this is a little odd, but what this means is this is the previous term in the sequence. So if the previous term in the sequence is 3, the next term in the sequence would be 1. Well, what do I have to do to the 3 to get 1? Well, I have to take away 2. Now, this is all fine and dandy, but I have to say where that pattern starts. And I've kind of run out of room, so I'll write it underneath. So what I say then is f of, oh, hang on a second. They don't tell me where to start this pattern. So I'm going to pick. And if I'm being lazy, I'm going to pick this to be the 0th term. 0 term, 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, and so forth. So I'm going to say f of 0 equals 15. Now, because I'm being lazy there by picking that as 0, that makes the explicit function a little bit easier. Here's the thing about the recursive function. It's the way a computer calculates. You have to start somewhere, and then it'll do whatever the operation is as many times as you tell it to. But we as humans, we're a little bit more savvy than that. So I believe when I gave this test, I canceled these two out, or maybe I canceled the 0th out and only gave them the first. I know I didn't ask them to do all of them. So how the explicit function works is this. The next term in the sequence, the next output, equals, that's the same as y, the next output, equals the what's going on. I'm taking away 2, but how many times am I taking away 2? Because I'm human, I can take it away as many times as I want, all in one step. Negative 2x. Now I have to check and make sure that that's going to work. So I take and I plug in one of my points. If I go negative 2 times 0, that's the 0th term right here, that has to equal 15. Well, negative 2 times 0 doesn't equal 15. So I have to make an adjustment. So in this case, my adjustment can be plus 15. Now, to make it true here, when I plug in one of the points, I have to do the same up here. I have to plus 15 it. So really what this is it's y equals mx plus b, your slope and your y-intercept. Where you choose to start will affect that y-intercept. So at this point, with this function, these say the same thing, but with this one you have to go through each step to get to the next step. On this one I could say, what's the 100th step on this? And I could just simply plug it in and we'd have it all done.